Most people think that a family benefits review is about buying something. It's not. Sometimes it's about discovering a problem you didn't even know existed, an outdated beneficiary, a policy that no longer fits your family, work coverage that disappears if your job does, a gap between what your family would need and what your current plan would actually provide. And the truth is, I've had families I'd sit down with fully believing that they were covered only to realize that they had holes in their protection that they never saw coming. So today I want to show you what a family benefits review can actually reveal and why every family should have one before life gives them a reason to wish they had. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jessie Tello, family protection expert. And my mission is simple, to educate, to empower, and to protect. And today's video is one of the first official Benefits Review Saturday episodes, where we talk about the real value of sitting down and reviewing what your family already has in place. Because sometimes the biggest problem isn't that the family has no protection. Sometimes it's that they haven't looked closely enough at the protection they already have. Here's what I see all the time. A family has life insurance through work, maybe a small policy that they bought years ago, and some additional accidental coverage, maybe a benefit they vaguely remember signing up for. And because something exists, they assume that they're okay. They assume that that box is checked. They assume that the family is protected. But there are a few questions that you haven't asked in years. Is the amount still enough? Is the beneficiary listed right? Would the coverage stay with me if I change jobs? Does my spouse know what I have? Would this actually protect my family the way I think it would? That's where a lot of families get caught off guard because they've ignored the conversation. That's why a lot of families get caught off guard, not because they've ignored the conversation, but because nobody helped them review it. Let me set up an example. A couple came to me for what they thought would be a quick review. They already had some coverage, so in their minds it was mostly just going to be a confirmation that everything looked good. But once we started looking through what they had, a few things stood out right away. First, most of the coverage of what they had was through work. Second, the amount hadn't been looked at in years. Third, the beneficiary information was outdated. And fourth, when we compared what the family would actually need if one income disappeared, the numbers didn't line up. Now that the conversation wasn't about fear, it wasn't about pressure, it was about clarity because they didn't leave feeling sold. They left feeling relieved. Relieved that they finally knew where they stood. Relieved that someone had helped them find the gaps before their family ever had to suffer because of that. And here's what a good review is supposed to do. Of what a family benefits review can reveal is coverage gaps. You may have some protection, but not enough for your family's actual needs. Outdated beneficiaries, life changes, marriages, divorce, children, moves, blended families. Your policy should reflect your life now. Over-reliance on work coverage. A lot of families don't realize how limited work coverage can be, or that it may not follow them if their job changes. Missing organization. Sometimes the policy exists, but the spouse doesn't know where it is, what it does, or how you're supposed to use it. And a false peace of mind. This one is big. A lot of families feel protected simply because they have something, but having something and having enough are not the same thing. That's why I believe every family should review their protection regularly. Not because you're expecting the worst, but because you love your family enough to make sure the plan still works. A review should give you clarity. It helps you stop guessing. It helps you stop assuming. And it gives you a chance to fix the small problems now before they become major problems later. If something happened to you tomorrow, your family shouldn't be left hoping everything was set up right. They should have to wonder whether the coverage was enough. They shouldn't have to discover outdated information in the middle of grief. And they definitely shouldn't have to pay the price for a problem nobody ever took the time to review. Peace of mind doesn't come from simply owning a policy. It comes from knowing that that family is actually protected. So when was the last time you actually reviewed your life insurance benefits? Not just looked at the deduction on your paycheck, not just remembered that you signed up years ago, but actually reviewed it. If the answer is, I'm not sure, or it's been a while, then this is your sign. Review, review below if it's time to take a look. And if you want help reviewing what you have, you can text me or call me at 317-800-9235 to schedule a complimentary family benefits review. Because the goal isn't just to have coverage. The goal is to know how your family is protected. And remember, protect what matters most.